For this project, I chose to watch the animated series Blue-Eyed Samurai on Netflix. There are a total of 8 episodes, each about an hour long. The story follows Mizu, a mixed-race swordsman who lives disguised as a man in order to seek vengeance and track down 4 white men, potentially one being her father. This story has twists and turns at every corner. Some of them are downright gut-wrenching. The animation style is breathtaking at times with its vibrant colors and special effects, taking nods to traditional Japanese aesthetics. The series is set in Japan during the Edo period, 1603 through 1867, but there was a lot of influence from the previous Muromachi period, and that went from 1338 to 1573. The Muromachi period came directly before the Edo period. One of the first things that caught my attention in the show was the Japanese architecture. The Muromachi period in Japan is unique because it's a period where Japanese architecture is free from the influence of outside cultures. This new architecture style was called Shoin Tsukuri and became the foundation for Japanese residential architecture, especially in samurai homes and temples. Shoin refers to a study of drawing room and features tatami flooring, sliding doors, alcoves, and wooden corridors that connected indoor and outdoor spaces. Gardens and outdoor spaces were important and were integrated into the design of the temples and palaces. There was also a focus on castle architecture in the later part of the Muromachi period when Japan faced increasing internal conflicts. One example of Muromachi period architecture is the Golden Pavilion in Kyoto. Built in 1397, the Golden Pavilion had many different influences when being built. The first floor was inspired by the Heian period, and that was from 794 to 1185 architecture. It had natural wood and white plaster. The goal was to create a tranquil and traditional appearance on the first floor. The second floor was a book style showcasing a samurai architecture with a sturdy wood and lacquer floor with its dignified design. The third floor was more of a Chinese Zen style with its gold leaf flooring embodying a paradise in Zen Buddhism. There's also a phoenix statue on the roof that symbolizes rebirth and virtue. The layered architecture symbolizes different realms of existence, and I think this build truly reflects those beliefs. Samurai and swordsmen play a major role in this show. One of the characters is Chiaki, a member of the Four Fangs. He wears a menpo mask, which was typically worn by samurai warriors. They were used as a type of armor to protect the face, but also as a form of psychological warfare. They were typically intimidating and exaggerated facial features and made of metal or hardened rawhide. They were decorated with lacquer, leather, fur, and sometimes animal hair. The mask looked menacing and really produced a feel to these characters portrayed on the show. A third element from the show that caught my eye was the ink wash paintings. This one on the right in particular was quite striking with the dark black and contrasting red colors. There were many scenes in each episode that depicted painted screens of birds and other nature scenes. The technique of ink painting was influenced this this technique of ink painting was influenced by the Chinese and Zen Buddhism. The paintings were usually kept simple with few elements and were fairly monochromatic. The subjects were typically birds, flowers, and other natural elements. The second painting here is called Catching a Catfish with a Gourd, done by the famous Japanese painter Josetsu. Overall, I would suggest watching this show if you are a fan of period correct shows, if you're a fan of a strong protagonist with feel good and heart wrenching storytelling, if you're a fan of visually beautiful graphics, animations, and fighting choreography. Do yourself a favor and watch this show. Here's my works cited. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you.